Hello and a warm welcome to the show. Today we're going to turn our attention to a very special man who forever changed the way we see the world, not with the Earth, but the Sun at its center. Copernicus, of course. We are here in Toruń at Nicolaus Copernicus House Museum, and I am being joined by the curator of this very institution, Michał Kłosiński. So, Michał, was Copernicus really born in this house?
We absolutely no doubt that Nicolaus Copernicus was born in Toruń, but in Middle Ages times, when Copernicus was born, the family of Nicolaus Copernicus owned two houses. This house, which is preserved to today times, in St. Anna number 15 street in Middle Ages time. Today is the name. The street is named the Copernicus Street, of course, but the family owned the second house by Old Market number 36, and we don't know exactly in this house Copernicus was born.
So was Copernicus well off? I mean, he had two houses.
Probably, yes. I say that the second house is not preserved to today times, but this house is a beautiful exemplar how childhood of Nicolaus Copernicus used in past times. This is the exemplar. We can see the classical storage house, because we must remember that Nicolaus Copernicus was the merchant. It was the typical wealth, rich family of Toruń. Toruń was the member of the Hanseatic League. It was the organization where the city like the Toruń, Gdańsk, Lübeck, Brema, London traded between us, and the merchant of this house is very wealthy, yes. And the childhood of Nicolaus Copernicus used in this house, and this is the classical exemplar of merchant house.
Mm-hmm. Right. Was Copernicus only an astronomer? What other jobs functions did he have?
No, he was the classical Renaissance person. We must remember about it, because, of course, he was the great astronomer, we know about it, but he was also the physician, for example. He was the cartographer. He prepared a map of the Prussia. Unfortunately, this map is not preserved today. He collaborated with Bernard Wapowski with Krakow in prepare this map. He was the mathematician. He was the economist, the great economist, because we know the Copernicus-Gresham law about the money, that the bad money got out the good money. Yes, this is the classical exemplar like inflation in today's private life in the economic sphere. So the Copernicus absolutely was the Renaissance person.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of education did he receive?
The first education was in the Toruń, we must remember, because he learned in parish school. It was the school linked with the St. John's Church. This building preserved, for example, to today. But next, he studied in the Krakow. In 1491, he left Toruń and went to the Krakow Academy. Today is, of course, the University, Jagiellonian University. And next, he studied in Italy. It's a very important time in his life. He studied in canon law in Bologna. He studied probably medicine in Padua, but we don't know exactly. He studied medicine or continued the canon law, and he degree doctorate in Ferrara, 1503. So the time of education of Nicolaus Copernicus since 1491 to 1503, it's a very long time. So,
how long did he live?
70 years. 70
Okay.
years, it's a very long time in the medieval times and Renaissance times, because the mediana on the people is about the 50 years.
Right, 50, 40 years,
50
right? So
years.
that's quite impressive. Well, there's some theories that Copernicus, in fact, was a woman. Is there any proof to that?
I don't know. We know this history, but he know Anna Schilling, for example. But the history was still in the late life of Nicolaus Copernicus, when he was about 65. So I don't know. There was some romance with Anna Schilling, but Today, the researcher known that Anna Schilling was linked with family of Nicolaus Copernicus. She came from Gdańsk, and probably she was the cousin of Nicolaus Copernicus.
So what other places in Poland is Copernicus linked to other cities?
Of course, the Toruń is most important. This is the birthplace of Nicolaus Copernicus, but after 1503, when he came back from Italy, he was related with the Liesberg-Warmiński, he was related with Fromborg and Olsztyn. So this is the Prussia area, this is the Warmia especially. He was the member of the chapter Warmia, and she ruled the many functions on this area.
We all know that Copernicus is the author of the heliocentric theory. So can you shed more light as to, sort of how was it published, what were the circumstances, how was it received at the very beginning?
Yes, it's a very interesting question. The first is the date of the public of the Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium was the date of the death of Nicolaus Copernicus. But he prepared his great work probably since 1509, 1510, when he published in writing the Commentariolus. This is the first script, this is the proof about the heliocentric theory. And the next time in the years about the 1541, 1542, he prepared the script with collaborated Joachim Rettig. It's a very interesting person. It's the young scientist from Wittenberg, which collaborated with Nicolaus Copernicus in his late times.
So he was around to defend the theory, right?
Yes.
After Copernicus passed away. All right, so I wanted to ask you about this place. I mean, what kind of artifacts, what kind of what kind of things do you have on display that are linked to Copernicus specifically?
Unfortunately, we haven't any instrument after Nicolaus Copernicus, any instrument preserved to today's times. But we have the house, we have the building. We have the building which is the beautiful exemplar of the childhood of Nicolaus Copernicus, because I said that this is the typical merchant house from medieval times.
Right, so what purpose does it serve? I mean, what can you do here? Do you have any special installations?
Yes, we can see, for example, the kitchen corner. We can see the bed where sleeping the family. We can sleep the magazine, the store. It's very important because, for example, only the ground level was used to private life, and the next level was the storage. We can remember that the Nicolaus Copernicus' father made the trade on the international scale, and many items is what storage in this place. But our museum is not only the classical historical building, because we can give the story about Nicolaus Copernicus, about his life and work, of course, and we try explain the science from modern times, from 16th and 17th and 18th century. We have small beautiful collection of scientific instruments from modern time. We have, for example, the beautiful calipers after Johann Hevelius, another astronomer from Gdańsk. It's only one instrument which preserved to today after Hevelius.
Right. So, how important do you think is is spreading the knowledge about Copernicus? Does it still inspire young people?
I think yes. It's very important. This is the beginning of scientific revolution in modern time. Not only in 16th century, but modern revolution of modern knowledge, modern science in our life.
Right, so typically you get young people visiting this place, or not?
Not only young, because for the older people, for example, this is the beautiful reflection about the universe. How is universe? It's not only constructed, how is the huge universe in the all. So the Copernicus is the classical symbolically person linked with the huge question about us. who we are, for example. What is the universe? What is the cosmos? What is the sphere?
Toruń is the place associated with Copernicus, and it's also a very beautiful city, right? So what are the links? What shall we see if we come and visit?
Of course, this is the probably birthplace of Nicolaus Copernicus, but in Toruń we have the church, St. John's Church, where Copernicus was baptized. In this church is preserved baptismal from 13th century, and this is the place where is the first try of commemorate of person of Nicolaus Copernicus. For example, in late 16th century, physician of Toruń, Melchior Pirnesius, founded the epitaph. This is the first epitaph of Nicolaus Copernicus, which we can see in today's cathedral, this church, of course. And this is the place of the first monument of Nicolaus Copernicus. This is the small sculpture by Wojciech Rojowski, sculpture from Krakow, which was founded by Prince of Jablonowski in half of 18th century. But on the old market we can huge monument of Nicolaus Copernicus, a beautiful statue from half of 18th century, which was founded by inhabitants of Toruń in 19th century. And the last but not least is very interesting in the trip by the Toruń, in a way there were wandering houses of Nicolaus Copernicus. Why? Because in history we have the 4 houses which was recognized as the birthplace of Nicolaus Copernicus. This house, of course, the second about I said in Old Market numbers 36, and the third on the corner, the street Piekary and Starotoruńska street. And for example, in 19th century, when the Napoleon Bonaparte visited the Toruń, inhabitants of Toruń guided by this house of Napoleon in 1812. Toruń is beautiful town. Toruń is beautiful.
But another characteristic thing, of course, is the local gingerbread. So I was wondering,
yes,
was it around when Copernicus was alive?
Absolutely, absolutely. Gingerbread it was in the Middle Ages times, and gingerbread is delicious items in today, of course.
Where does this tradition come from? And why is it a Toruń
Since
thing?
medieval times. Since medieval times, absolutely.
So I guess my last question to sort of wrap up our talk, what is your favorite place around here connected to Nicolaus Copernicus?
Maybe, is it not a historical place because this is the astronomical observatory, radio observatory in Piwnice. This is the 20 kilometers since Toruń. And this is beautiful place about contemporary science, about contemporary astronomy and research in astronomy. So.
And how many visitors do you get typically per year? Because it is a very touristy place.
Yes, absolutely. We have about 120,000 visitors by the year. In last year, for example.
Well, thank you for finding the time to speak with us. And of course, we recommend Toruń as a touristy destination. Thank you for watching Pulse of Culture, and please stay tuned for more.